Good morning, friends. In last lecture, we see the thermal power plant. Okay, we complete the first unit. Okay, in thermal power plant, we learn the basic concept, that is the locations. Then we see the layout diagram. Then different components of the thermal power plant and its functions. Then we see the coal handling plant, ash handling plant. Then we see the two important cycle, that is Carnot cycle and Rankine cycle. All this part which is very important with respect to your uh, exam. Okay, today we are going to start with the new unit, that is unit number 2. Okay, nuclear power plant. Okay, in this unit number 2 we learn three power plant. First is the nuclear power plant, then second is the diesel power plant. Okay, and third is the gas power plant. Okay, so these power plant is very important with respect to your subject. Okay, with respect to your exam. Okay, so let's start with the nuclear power plant. As you see, the in India, okay, near about 150 crores population is there. Okay, so to fulfill the need of every person, okay, we need food, health, and shelter. These are the three basic needs. But apart from this, okay, we need electricity. Okay, so this is the fourth basic needs. So to fulfill this demand of these things, that is electricity, we produce very large amount of electrical energy. Okay, so there are different modes of the most of is the that is thermal power plant. Okay, by using thermal power plant we generate most of, that is 40 to 45% electrical energy. Okay, in the by using gas power plant we produce 19% in case of oil. Okay, that is the diesel power plant, we produce 7%, and in case of hydro power plant we produce 16% of electrical energy. So for hydropower plant, water is the biggest source. Okay, now and the last one is the, that is your nuclear power plant. Okay, so this is the complete pie charts with respect to your how the world produce electricity. Okay, and what are the different fossil fuels are used. Okay, as we see this pie chart, this near about 19 plus 39 plus 7%. Okay, so near about 68 to 69% of electricity is produced by the fossil fuels, that is oil, coal, and gas. Okay, apart from this, this 60% is generated by using the water. Okay, and the remaining, that is the 70% energy is produced by the nuclear. Okay, so the advantage of nuclear energy, we can use small amount of uh, uranium and produce maximum amount of electrical energy. This is the biggest advantage of your nuclear power plant. Okay, so this is the complete pie chart with respect to world statistics. Okay, now we see in India. Okay, as you see in India, the biggest fossil fuel which present, okay, on the Indian land, that is coal. Okay, as you see, the 61% energy, electrical energy is produced by the coal. Okay, means what, we use thermal power plant. Okay, to produce an electrical energy. Okay, the biggest source of thermal power plant is coal. Okay, means near about 61% energy is produced by your thermal power plant. Okay, so this is the use of thermal power plant. Then we see this red color, that is hydropower plant. As you see, the 15% of energy is produced by your hydropower plant, and the biggest source of hydropower plant is water. After that we see the renewable energy source. Okay, in today's scenario, the this is one of the most important energy with respect to the energy crisis. if you if you want to fulfill the demand of the peoples, okay, so renewable energy is the best options. So India is the country which try our best to use renewable energy sources. There may be some limitations, okay, but in recent few years we overcome these limitations and use maximum renewable energy. So up till now we use 13% of renewable energy to produce the electrical energy. After that we see the some natural gases. In natural gases we see the some biogas power plant, okay. So it's one of the best way to produce electrical energy, and one of the most important advantage is that we can save our environment, okay, by using the natural resources, okay. And one of the best example is the biogas power plant, okay. After that we see this nuclear power plant, okay. Near about 3 to 5% of total energy is produced by the nuclear power plant, okay. So as you see, among all this, okay, we need high amount of coal to produce an electrical energy. So by comparison with nuclear power plant, we use very less amount of fuel, okay, to produce an electrical energy. So this is the advantage with respect to, or with compare to the thermal power plant, okay. Now we see why we consider a nuclear power plant is the most important power plant or most important energy to produce an electrical energy, okay. As you see, in the last lecture we see the thermal power plant, okay. You see, to produce and 1 megawatt energy in the thermal power plant, we need near about thousands of ton coal, okay. So this is very huge figure. Means what is the disadvantage? If you require high amount of fuel, then there are the cost of the overall plant is increases. How? There is a need of large space, there is a need of transportations from one place to another place, okay. And there is also need of more number of staff or more number of laborers. So these are the some problems with respect to handle the large amount of coal, okay. And in case of hydropower plant, same, we use a large amount of water to convert this plant, okay, or to convert this uh, storing energy of water, that is potential energy, which is converted into electrical energy. It required large space, it required large amount of water. But in case of nuclear power plant, is quite exceptional. In case of nuclear power plant, we need very less amount of uranium to produce an electrical energy. So this is the advantage with respect to your nuclear power plant. That's why we choose a nuclear power plant, okay. As day by day, as we see the populations of India increases, okay, we are the world's second number largest country in the world, okay. So to fulfill the demand of each and every component, okay, uh, we need some different energy that is we use. If you use nuclear energy, then this is the best option for thermal power plant or for your diesel power plant, okay. Then as you see, the coal and water is the conventional sources, okay. Means if we use for longer time, okay, then the amount of coal get reduced day by day, and it is very dangerous to our uh, dangerous for the country, okay. So it is very important to find the option for these two sources, that is water and coal. I think nuclear power plant is the best options, okay, to overcome the use of water and coal, okay. We can save the water and coal by using the nuclear energy. We can indirectly we can say that, okay. So to overcome all these problems, if we use nuclear energy, then nuclear energy give the best solutions, and it produce high amount of energy with respect to your thermal power plant, okay, and hydropower plant. So these are the some useful point with respect to your nuclear power plant. Now we see how advantage of nuclear power plant. There are many advantages of nuclear power stations, okay. So the first of all, it is a base load power plant, okay. Nuclear power plant is called as a base load power plant, okay. What is the feature of base load power plant? Means its operating cost is low, okay. It can run for long hours, okay. Means we can continue use of nuclear power plant for a long times, that is 6 to 7 hours, okay. If you start once, we can use for a longer time. So this is the biggest advantage. Then second point is the there is no emissions, okay, there is no harmful to the your greenhouse effect, that is there is no emissions of CO2, SO2, that is sulfur oxide, carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide. Okay, so this is the another advantage of nuclear power plant. Then another is the it not required plenty of water, okay, it required very less amount of water with respect to your thermal power plant. Okay, as we know that water is the one of the important source of electrical energy, but we need here less amount of water for the cooling purpose. Okay, and second thing is more reliable and non-polluting. I already covered these points. Okay, there is no pollutions, there is no productions of ash in the nuclear power plant. So these are the some advantages with respect to nuclear power plant. And there is no smoke because there is no burning of coal. Okay, so these are the some points with respect to your nuclear power plant. Then its output control is more flexible. I know this is a continuous chain reactions, but if you properly design your nuclear reactor, then use proper component, that is moderator, control rods and coolant, then definitely we can achieve the proper control in the nuclear power plant. Okay, so and as we say, there are some methods to decompose the nuclear product, okay, or the radioactive products, which is the byproducts of this nuclear power stations. If you properly dispose dispose the nuclear that is radioactive product, then there is no harmful to the environment. Okay, this is one of the most important point with respect to radioactive elements, because as you know that radioactivity is very dangerous to the human being. Okay, so it is very important to handle this radioactive product, okay, in proper manner. Now next is the disadvantages. Okay, as you see the some there are some disadvantages of the nuclear power plant. The first disadvantage of the nuclear power plant, okay, the fossil fuel, that is your uranium. Okay, the fuel is not easily available, it is very costly. Okay, there is one advantage is that you can produce large amount of electrical energy by using low amount of fuel, but at the same time there is issue with the cost. Okay, its cost is very high. Okay, so the cost of uranium, that is U-35 or the isotopes of uranium, cost is very high, so it is very important point. Then second is the initial cost of constructing is a nuclear station is quite high. Why we require initial cost is very high? Because there is a constructions of nuclear reactor. Okay, and we need some large space, because the always if you see the Tarapur nuclear power stations, okay, these place the locations of nuclear power station is always very far away from the society. So there is a space required is very high. And for the protection purpose, we invest so many money for the building of these nuclear power stations. Okay, that's why its initial cost is very high, because we know that to control these chain reactions, we build a proper nuclear reactor. Okay, and also there is a fission process which is in the nuclear power stations. That's why one of the radioactive pollutions, there may be a chance of radioactive pollutions if you not properly decompose these elements. Okay, its maintenance cost is very high. Okay, because as you know that we can handle with the this nuclear chain reactions. So these chain reactions is very dangerous. Okay, because this is a continue nuclear fission is happen in this plant. Okay, so to control this or to stop this, or to for controlling of this nuclear chain reactions, we require some skill power. Okay, so this is one of the disadvantage is that we require skill power, um, skill very high skillful worker. Okay, in the nuclear power stations. So these are the some disadvantage with respect to your nuclear power stations. Okay, now we see we start from the basic concept. Okay, so the basic concept, as we see, this is a nuclear fission reactions. Okay, in nuclear fission reactions, as we see there are elements. Okay, so if you consider elements, the element formed by the atom. Okay, so to understand the element, or to understand the uranium, okay, first of all we understand the atomic physics of the atom. Okay, so first of all we see this is your representations of or structure of atom. In the atom we see that the electron present around the nucleus, and in the nucleus neutron and proton are present. Okay, means we see the in the nucleus neutron and proton are present, and around the nucleus we present electron. Okay, so these are the some points with respect to atomic structure of the atom. Okay, in case of nucleus, proton plus neutron, that is what is mass number and what is atomic number, the next concept is. Okay, so mass number is always represented by A. Okay, and atomic number is always represented by Z. So what is meant by atomic number and what is meant by mass number? Okay, first of all we see the your atomic number. Okay, atomic number is nothing but the number of protons. Okay, and mass number is nothing but the proton plus neutron. Okay, so this is the only difference. Okay, just try to carefully observe the representation of this element. Okay, some students are quite confused whether this is your mass number or this is your atomic number. Okay, so don't confuse with this, just remember the symbols. Okay, Z stands for atomic number. Atomic number always stand in lower positions, and mass number is always standing in a higher positions. Also we can use some techniques. Okay, so atomic number is less number. Okay, means this is your little brother, always stand at a lower sides. Okay, and this is your big brother. Okay, because its weight is very high, or its height is very high, so it is a big brother. That's why its position is quite high than the your little brother. Okay, in this way we can interpret this concept. Okay, means it is no matter of confusion. Okay, I hope you understood. Now as I clear, atomic number is nothing but the, okay, atomic number is nothing but the total number of protons present in the nucleus is called as the atomic number, that is represented by Z. And what is the mass number? Number of protons plus neutron. Some students are very comfortable with this concept because this concept already covered in your first 12th standard. Okay, that is in chemistry. So proton plus neutron, and mass number is it's denoted by A, and atomic number is denoted by Z. So this is the concept. Now we see the next is the difference. Okay, what is the difference? Okay, there are one of the most important concept than the mass number and atomic number, that is isotopes. What is meant by isotopes? As you see that isotopes means the element having same mass number, same atomic number, same atomic number. Okay, and different mass number. Okay, means in case of this, as you see, if isotope is considered, okay, if isotope is considered, means same atomic number. Okay, atomic number is same and different mass number. Okay, so this is the way we can write that. This is the definition of isotope, means same your atomic number but different mass number. Okay, so this is the way atomic number are same, atomic mass are different. What is the next property? The next property with respect to chemical, its chemical properties are, its chemical properties same, okay, but different in physical properties. Okay, means chemical properties are same but physical properties are different. In case of isobars, isobars means what? In isobar, this is a just like your isotopes, same atomic number. Here this is the complement of isotopes, that is here same mass number. Okay, same mass number is, same mass number is used. Okay, and different atomic number. Okay, just opposite to the your isotopes, and the atomic number, the chemical elements, that is chemical properties are different, and physical properties are similar. Okay, so this is the difference between isotopes. Means first difference is depend upon the atomic mass and atomic number, and second is different is depend upon the chemical property and physical property. Okay, in this we can remember the concept of this difference between isotopes and isobars. Okay, now the next concept is nuclear reactions. As you know that this is the most important topic with respect to your nuclear power plant. As you see that in a nuclear power plant, nuclear chain reaction is one of the most important part. As you see, nuclear reactions deal with the interactions between the nuclei of atoms, including of nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Okay, sorry. There are two types of nuclear reactions. First is the your fission process. Okay, and second is the your fusion process. Okay, so this interconversion or interactions between the nuclei of atoms. Now we see the both fission and fusion, okay, deal with the matter and energy. Means these two energy deal with the nuclear energy. Okay, let's see whether your fission is performed and whether your fusion is performed. As you see, this nuclear fission is the process of splitting of nucleus into two daughter nuclei, leading to the energy being released. What is the meaning of these statements? I just take one example. Means it's split into two daughter nuclei. If I say this is okay, this is the one atom. Okay, it's split into two atoms. Means what? If I consider this is the mother, then this the mother having two daughters, that is D1 and D2. Means it's split into different atoms or one mother. If I say take one example, okay, the one atom it can produce earth, okay, and it converted into number of atoms. Okay, means the splitting of nucleus into two daughter elements. So this is the process of fissions. And what is the fusion? The fusion, it's a process of two parent nuclei fuse into one daughter nucleus, leading to energy being released. Means if here we consider number of daughter nucleus which is performed to produce one parent nucleus. Okay, means number of elements which combine each other and form one elements. Okay, so this is the difference. Let's understand thoroughly the difference between nuclear reaction and nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Okay, the first is the nuclear fusion. Okay, so first of all, let's understand this nuclear fusion reaction is performed on the sun. Okay, so this is the presentations of nuclear fusion reactions. Now we understand the concept or definition. First of all, this is the fusion reactions. That is, first is the your first proton. Okay, means first proton is made up from heavy hydrogen and tritium. Okay, which is converted to helium and release energy. Means first is your deuterium and second is your tritium. This is the isotope of hydrogen. When combine these two atoms, that is deuterium plus tritium, it converted into one parent elements, that is your helium. Okay, so and some amount of energy, that is this is 42 megawatt electrical volt. This is the huge amount of energy is produced in the nuclear fusion reactions. So I give one hint here. Okay, you remember this here only single S is present. Okay, that's why wherever the single S is present, this stands for sun energy. Okay, because in sun also one single S is present. In this way you can remember. Some students are quite confused whether on the sun nuclear fusion are present or nuclear fission are present. So use some basic tricks. Okay, here we produce, that is single S and here also single S. Okay, मीन्स या ठिकाणी तुम्हाला काय सांगायचं आहे, या ठिकाणी न्यूक्लियर फ्युजन मध्ये एक एक्स प्रेझेंट आहे. ओके, आणि सन मध्ये पण एक एस प्रेझेंट आहे. ओके, त्यामुळे ऑलवेज ऑन द सन कुठली रिएक्शन परफॉर्म होते सॉरी न्यूक्लियर फ्युजन रिएक्शन परफॉर्म होते. ओके, दिस इज द वे वी कॅन रिमेंबर द कन्सेप्ट, because to understand the concept it is very important. Okay, now here deuterium and this tritium combine each other and form a nuclear fusion and it converted into helium. Okay, and some amount of energy and neutron. So these are the way we can convert the two proton, that is deuterium and tritium, and made up one parent nuclei, that is your helium. Okay, so this is the example of your nuclear fusion. And what is the example of nuclear fusion? That is hydrogen bomb. Okay, hydrogen bomb, this is the applications of nuclear fusion reactions. So in hydrogen bomb we perform nuclear fusion reactions. Okay, now the next concept is nuclear fusion reactions. Okay, so this is the heart of our topics, that is nuclear power plant. In nuclear fusion reactions we see this is the splitting of two heavy nuclei into lighter nuclei with the release of large amount of energy. As we see this diagram, okay, this is your parent element or this is your mother, we split into its number of daughters, that is beryllium and krypton. Okay, so these are the way we can represent, means one atom is split into number of atoms. So this is the nuclear fusion reactions. You can remember only one definitions, whether nuclear fusion or nuclear fission, then ultimately we can tell the next definitions. Okay, if you remember nuclear fission reactions, there is no need to remember nuclear fusion reactions. Okay, so after the beryllium and krypton is present plus some neutrons, again this neutron split into U235, again this U235, again this uranium is bombarded with U35, again same element is present, again means continuous this chain reaction is performed by the bombardation of uranium with the bombardation of uranium with random nuclei. Okay, we perform a nuclear fission reactions. Okay, so this is very continuous reactions and which is used to produce heat, and this heat is directly converted into mechanical energy, and this mechanical energy directly converted into electrical energy by using the alternator. Okay, so this is the nuclear fission reactions. Okay, which always perform in the your nuclear power plant. There is some objective questions based upon the this point, that is in nuclear thermal power plant, nuclear fission reaction perform, nuclear fusion reaction perform, or both and none of these. Some students quite confused with this objective. Okay, this objective is also asked in your competitive exam, that is SSC, JE, then Transco, Genco, Discom. Okay, means you can, if you one time conceptually understand what is fission and fusion, okay, there is no confusion. Okay, and you get a maximum marks in the exam. Then next is the, so this is the one of the example of nuclear fission reactions. Okay, so this is your uranium. As you see, this is the atomic number, that is 92, and this is your mass number, that is 235. Okay, when bombarded with the neutrons and chain reaction perform. So this is the first elements, that is barium, that is 56 and 137, and this is your krypton, that is 36 and 97, and 2 neutron is released. Okay, so and some amount of energy. Okay, now the mass balance equations. Here I take the mass number. Okay, each and every neutrons mass number is 1.008 and uranium is 230.0439. it is quite accurate. Okay, then beryllium, then krypton, okay, and then neutron. Okay, means what, this is your, in the reactions, as you see, this is your reactant, this is your product. Okay, means what, this reactant produce an electrical energy, this is your reactant and this is your product. Okay, so this reactant produce an electrical energy, that is 236.05, and this is another that this is the product energy, that is 230.584. just clearly observe these two figures. First one is the 236.0526 and this is the 230.8446. Now we have to calculate how much amount of energy is released during these reactions. Okay, how can I calculate this that is this energy? Okay, let's understand this delta M. We find the mass number of each element and just add this number, add this element. Okay, and calculate total mass numbers. Here the total mass number of the reactant is 236.05 and this total mass number of this product is 235.84. Now we understand what is the energy release. Okay, by the formula of Einstein. Okay, what is the Einstein theory? Einstein explained this equation, that is mc square. Okay, here we consider a small mass. Okay, difference in the mass. What is the this del present? Okay, there is a small difference is there. Okay, so this is the abbreviations. Okay, now we just subtract this figure, that is 230.84 from this 236.05, we get 0.2080, okay, atomic mass unit, that is AMU. Okay, atomic mass unit stands, its abbreviation is AMU. Okay, this is very basic concept. Okay, just understand what happened, how much energy is released. Now we find the energy release. How can I find? So this is my formula, that is general formula is E is equal to mc square. What is m? M stand the mass and c stand velocity of light. Okay, everyone familiar with the velocity of light? What's its value? 3 into 10 to the power 8. We already covered, calculate this value because this is the very standard value. Now this delta m, the value is 0.2080. I just put here. Okay, it's multiple with the c square, means the velocity of light whole square. After I get 193.6 mega electron volt. So this huge amount of energy is present in the this nuclear chain reactions. And what is this? What is this joule? Okay, then again we convert this joule in mega electron volt in the joule. Okay, that is 3.1 into 10 to the power minus 11 joule. Okay, so this is the way we can just think. Okay, everyone just observe this figure, how much energy is produced, means how, okay, this is the biggest source of energy to produce an electrical energy. So this much amount of energy is produced in case of your nuclear chain reactions. So these are the way. Okay, I just cover this example for understanding purpose. How can I calculate release energy? Okay, how can I calculate? Just first of all calculate reactions, then calculate mass balance equations. After calculation of mass balance equations, just total sum of reactant elements and total sum of product elements, just calculate, and after the additions we just check these two figures and subtract from these figures, and you get delta m. And if you find delta m, then C have a standard value, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8, and in this way we can easily calculate your value, that is daily, how much energy is released. Okay, so these are the some way. After that we see that some difference. Okay, sometimes in same exam they ask for 4 marks. Okay, sometimes they ask for 4 marks. What is the difference between nuclear fission or nuclear fusion? Okay, basically this nuclear fission reaction is performed in the nuclear power plant. Nuclear fusion reactions is performed on the suns. Okay, what is the definition? Second point is the definitions. In definition, that is when one atom is split into number of atoms, it is called as a nuclear fusion reactions. And these two atom, that is your deuterium and tritium, when add each other and produce helium. Okay, so these are the difference between nuclear fission and nuclear fusion according to its diagram. Then it's a unnatural process, and this nuclear fusion is a natural process because this perform on the sun. As you see on the sun, there is a nuclear fusion reactions, and it is a completely natural reactions. After that, temperature. Okay, as you see on the sun, extremely high temperature is present, and in nuclear fission reaction the temperature is very high, but it is less comparative with respect to nuclear fusion. After that, how much energy required? So required less amount of energy to split the nucleus. Okay, and it requires huge amount of energy is required to force nuclei to fuse. Okay, means it required large amount of energy, okay, to perform this nuclear fusion reactions. Okay, here we use tremendous amount of energy. We also use here high amount of energy. Okay, we can generate it from these two fission or fusion reactions. So it is an uncontrollable reactions and it is a controllable reaction. As you see, we here consider nuclear or uranium as a fossil fuel. So this is very difficult to control this nuclear fission reactions once the start, and you can easily control the nuclear fusion reactions. Okay, so these are the some points with respect to your nuclear fission and fusion. Okay, I hope you understood these points. Okay, how can I site selections of your nuclear power plant? How can I select this nuclear power? According to the selections of nuclear power plant, first point is the availability of water. As we see, for the cooling systems we require water, so availability of water is very important for the cooling purpose. So in the nuclear power plant it requires less water with respect to thermal power plant, but availability of water is very important for the cooling purpose. Okay, this is the first point. Then disposal of water. Whatever the water is passes through this nuclear power plant, it may be contact with the radioactive elements. If this water is injected into the river or lake, there is very dangerous impact on the your aquatic animals which is present in the water. Okay, so that's why disposal of water is very important. Okay, so establish the nuclear power plant which is far away from the lake or river, so that we can save our aquatic animals. Okay, now the next point is the distance from the populated area. As you see, in the same case, this is very dangerous nuclear chain reactions. It is difficult to control. Okay, so that's why we have to very careful, and whatever be the manufacture of nuclear plant which is far away from the your society. Okay, so this is the another point, that is distance from populated area. Again, this is the transportation facility. Okay, during the commissioning period, heavy equipment is to be erected which is to transport from the manufacturer site. So it requires some transportation facility. Okay, it is not important concern with respect to nuclear power plant, but with respect to location it is very important. Okay, with respect to the nuclear power plant. Now the next point is the concept of radioactivity. As you know, here we perform nuclear fusion reactions, means we emit some alpha, beta, gamma particles. So this is the concept of radioactivity, the process of continuous and spontaneous disintegrations of radioactive isotopes. Such process is called a radioactive process. It is a completely means the emissions of alpha, beta and gamma. It is very dangerous to for human being. So here we just spontaneous disintegrations of radioactive isotopes reactions are performed in this radioactivity. Now in the process, most of naturally occurring elements such as uranium, iridium, thallium, okay, such unstable isotopes are performed. Okay, means its productivity is very high with respect to productions of the electrical energy. So which elements are used? That is uranium, radium and thallium. Okay, some students are only make some points with the uranium, they just not remember radium, but radium and thallium is also important. Now in the case of radioactivity, there is the emissions of alpha, beta and gamma. Okay, so that's why we prepare or we established a nuclear reactor in a very proper way. Okay, so that we can save our human society or the human being. Okay, so it's very important to fulfill all these conditions and build the nuclear power plant in a very proper way, so that we can produce maximum electrical energy. So in this way we can explain some basic point, that is what is a fusion, what is fission, then what are the isotopes, what is meant by isotopes, what is meant by isospar, what is the concept of or what is the structure of atom, what are the elements present in the atom. Okay, these are the some important points or basic tools which are required to the your nuclear power plant. In the next lecture we see the layout diagram of nuclear power plant, which is the very important point with respect to your syllabus. Okay, so up to this we just cover some basic tools. Okay, because fundamental concepts are very important to explain the nuclear chain reactions. That's why just go through this slides, that is nuclear fusion, what is nuclear fission, what is nuclear fusion, what is the example, and the best example of nuclear fission is the nuclear bomb. Okay, as you see, in case of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the USA used this concept, that is nuclear energy, and there is very harmful effect on the Japan country or the Hiroshima and Nagasaki city. Okay, so it is very dangerous at some point of view. Okay, but if you use in a proper way to produce an electric energy, okay, means it helps to develop the nations. Okay, it fulfill the dreams of your nations, because as you know that without electricity we can't do anything, because each and every things, that is if you construct robots, if you construct any time machines, if you construct any supercomputer, we need electricity. Okay, for human being to run the any machines or to run the power systems, electrical energy one of the most and fourth fundamental basic needs of human being. That's why to fulfill this demand, nuclear energy is one of the best way, okay, to achieve our all dreams. Okay, so today I stop here. Thank you so much for careful listening this lecture.